So, good morning, kind of, afternoon probably. We crawled out of bed today, eventually, and ended up at the Danish Jewish Museum. Very interesting so far. Basically tracks the all sorts of different rooms with all sorts of different themes, but kind of follows their arrival in Denmark and the different stuff. Apparently Denmark was fairly unique because in the time when they invited Jews to come live with them in their country and work and have religious freedom, that was kind of an unheard of thing. Most people were not friendly to the Jews, but I think it was Christian the Fourth, King of Denmark, invited them to come in. So it should be an interesting museum. So we finished up at the Jewish Museum. Small little place, but very interesting. Lots of cool history and tradition and stuff in that. But it was just a short walk over to the Frederiksberg Palace, I believe is where we are. And so now we are what came to the royal stables. So it has some cool information about how the kings had favorite horses and the kind of stuff they did. And also, of course, there's some royal horses here.
Actually used by the royal family.
Yep, actually used by the royal family.
Tell them the story of the spotted one. The stuffed spotted horse.
Oh yeah, so there was a big stuffed horse in another room here, and it was guaranteed.
Yeah,
Someone
they
guaranteed.
made a bet with like the English or something.
They made a bet that this horse would be able to run from
35 miles.
35 miles in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And so they ran this horse, this 35 miles, and it took 42 minutes, and he dropped dead on the spot when he arrived. So they stuffed him, and now he's like the oldest stuffed horse in the country. And now we have to get going because we're gonna have to find a guided tour shortly of the reception rooms of the palace. And this palace is actually used by the royal family because they're telling us tomorrow there's going to be some stuff not open because the queen is actually coming to use it. So, but got to see some of the stuff over here today. So, earlier I said we were in the Frederiksberg Palace. I lied. It's actually called the Christiansborg Palace. And it was, it's basically like the Parliament building sort of thing. It's where they do a lot of their government stuff. Right now, we're in the Royal Library. Yeah, we have to wear some pretty fancy royal boots to be able to walk around in here. So, yeah, here's a bit of the Royal Library. There's 2 levels, and there's an elevator right there that gets you up to that 2nd level. And there's all sorts of different books in here.
The queen could read in German, French, English, Danish, and a little bit of Latin.
Yeah, so there's all sorts of crazy books in here. It's really cool.
There's some from Hans Christian Andersen that were like addressed directly to her.
Yep. So, there's all sorts of cool rooms in this place. Like this is the Queen's stairway.
The carpet is designed by the queen.
Yeah, that design was made by the Queen. This is just one of the little kind of unimportant rooms in the palace.
Formal rooms for king and queen's family.
Yeah.
They never actually lived here.
Yeah, the king and queen were supposed to live here, but he decided he didn't want to live in this palace. I think he said this palace was only finished in 1920 or something, so it's fairly new, but it's awesome. And I think it's built over top of an older castle or palace. So this is the Great Hall. Pretty great, huh? There's all sorts of cool tapestries that were, there used to be tapestries up that showed history of the war between Sweden and Denmark, and the current queen decided that was a little distasteful, so she commissioned new tapestries that basically tell like the history of Denmark, kind of more in a whole sense. They're very cool. Like this one here is supposed to be the Viking Age. I think the one back there was the medieval ages. There's some over here that show like the prince and the queen and stuff like that too. So this place is massive and fancy and really cool.
Seats like 300 dinner guests or something in this room.
Yeah, apparently.
Fancy dinners here.
So, really cool palace that no one even lives in. They just do some of their work out of here. So, we took a bit of a tour of the palace. And there's actually some stuff we need to go back and see. And luckily our ticket lets us go to different sections, and it's valid for up to a month. So, I think we have like 2 sections left to see. So, we should be good to see that on Tuesday, I think. We have to stay out a little later tonight because we're going to get a 24-hour ticket so that we can take bus and train out to Roskilde, which is where there's a Viking ship museum. So that should be exciting. So to kill some time, we're going to take a chance and see a movie here. What I understand is that any movies that are originally in other languages are played in those other languages just with Danish subtitles. So we should be able to see an English movie in English just with some subtitles. So we got some tickets to go to the movie Arrival. So we wanted to see that one, but there was never any times in Glasgow, or Edinburgh, I mean. So we're going to see it here and hope that it's in English. So yeah, that's what we're getting up to at the moment. So, to burn a little time between now and our movie, we are going to have some of Danish food. I think it is a traditional, not traditional, but like national dish. And it's called flødebolle. And it looks like that. And I think it's just like chocolate-covered marshmallows, basically.
It's like whipped egg white and sugar, and then I think there's like a graham cracker bottom, and then chocolate-covered, yeah. And then this one has coconut, and I think this one is like peanuts and caramel in it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try some of that. Very good. So there you have it. Flødebolle. We came from our movie to get some dinner. It's about 9 o'clock, so figured it'd be about time for dinner now. And we came to a place called Rio Bravo. It was supposed to be a good place to get stegt flæsk. I don't know if I'm saying that right at all, but it's the national dish of Denmark. It's fried pork and potatoes
With
and
a parsley
sauce. So this is what we ended up with. A massive plate
pile.
of fried pork. So we'll be stuffed. It'll be a good late dinner. Well, we made it back to the flat. We went out and purchased some 24-hour transport tickets because tomorrow we're going to Roskilde, which is about 30-minute train ride from the central station, and that's about 20-minute bus ride from here. The nice thing about Copenhagen is their public transport tickets work for anything, so like bus or train, metro, even like water taxis and stuff. So that's really handy if you get like if you need to get like to the airport or something and there's a bus and a train or whatever that you need to take. It makes it really easy because you just have the one ticket, and they're fairly cheap too. Like the ones that we've been using to get into the city were like $5 a person, which is reasonable, and they last for an hour. So, and it takes only about 20 minutes to get to the city, so we could kind of do as we please. But this one we bought will cover our bus ticket in, and it covered our bus ticket home tonight, and it'll cover our train tomorrow and our bus home and our train back as well. So, good deal. So yeah, we're going to Roskilde. for the Viking Ship Museum. So that should be exciting. We're both looking forward to the gift shop because hopefully there'll be some good keepsake or souvenir sort of things there that are kind of Viking oriented, because the National Museum of Denmark didn't have a huge Viking section. So hopefully this one should be more Viking centric. So that should be fun. So until our adventure tomorrow, I bid you good night. Kira.
Night.
Bye-bye.